Greetings, family. Welcome to the channel. This is Wanda, and I decided to do a video today. And I wanted to talk about how these new executive orders that are going forth in the U.S., how they are going to affect or impact us, or how to weather the storm, basically. How can we weather the storm with all these executive orders and realize that a lot of these laws and executive orders, we, we can't control them, right? So what we need to do is have the right mindset of how can we work around or work with these executive orders that have been put into place by the President Trump. So we, as U.S. citizens, there are things we can do. And I think most of us, Black Americans, African Americans, Hebrews, Bantus, we kind of have an idea of what we need to do. So as we're basically marching and all that, okay, we already know that don't work. Let the white people and the other nations do that right now. We already done that, been there, done that. That don't work, right? So we have to make plans of how we will move forward through all this devastation, is what I call it. Through all this trauma and this turmoil, is what I call it. We have to put ourselves in a position to where we don't depend on the government for anything. We cannot depend on the government for any kind of assistance. We have to put ourselves in a position as Black people, as African Americans, where we produce our own food, our own clothes, our own everything that we need. We need to make sure that we put ourselves in a position to where we provide those things for our nation, for our people, our own food, our own farms, have our own land, our own housing, our own products that we use. We have to start buying from our own people specifically. We have to, there are enough of us in America to just patronize each other. Whether you may have to drive an extra time, make an extra effort to do it, but at this point, we're not respected, and it's obvious. Rolling back DEI and rolling back desegregation. Yeah, they're making it crystal clear about how they feel about us. So we move forward in looking out for our own people and setting things up to where we can survive. So survival is what we need to be thinking about. How can we survive without all these gadgets and all these systems that they have in place? So we need to put ourselves in a position to where we can help our own people. We can help each other. You know, we can lend a helping hand to a brother or sister with kids, or you see that someone is in need in our nation. We need to focus on ourselves. We need to delineate. We do, and just focus on ourselves in every way, specifically over there in America. Now, I'm in Africa, and even over here, we should be, as diaspora, leaving the West and moving to the continent. We need to be setting things up for our brothers and sisters who live in the West and they want to come back to live in Africa. If that's something they want to do, we should be trying to set up systems and connections and networks to where when they come, we can help them get situated with resources, or if they need our help. Basically, because we're all we have in the physical sense of the word. Yes, we have our Elohim, our uncreated creator, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yes, we have him. But in the physical sense, we should be able to be a blessing and be able to lend a helping hand to our brothers and sisters who are in need, because it's going to get very difficult for us to manage in the Western countries as African Black people. It's going to be difficult for us to manage. So wherever we decide to be, whether we decide to stay in the West or we come, to the continent or any other country for that matter, we should always have networks for our people to connect with each other. So I just want to do this video and talk about preparing our hearts and minds for what is to come with all these executive orders. It's obvious that they're starting to exclude us from their systems. They're excluding us from their systems, and they're excluding Africa from their systems. So The same thing that they're doing to the continental Africa, to the continent of Africa, they're doing to us specifically on a personal level, also at an individual level, also. So they're excluding not only the continent, but they're excluding its people, its children that are dispersed at the four corners. So I would say our best bet, which is just my opinion, is to try to come somewhere where people look like you, where you can group with them. There are plenty of there's not a shortage of resources here in Africa. There's plenty of food, vegetables, plenty of land to grow food, to cultivate the land. So this is just my opinion and my advice for those who are wanting to come outside of the Western countries and you want to be somewhere where you can, you know, have your own land or build or have land that you can lease, that where you can, cultivate the land and you can have a business, you can grow food and vegetables and, sustain yourself. So it's food security and survival, the way of survival, especially for the Black uh, African diaspora dispersed throughout the four corners, especially in these European countries. They're fighting with each other. It's not our fight, but we have to survive. So we have to think about places where we can live, where we can thrive, and we can survive, and what the resources that we do have, how we can stretch them and make them, do the things that we need have done for survival, how we can utilize and take our resources and make them work for us, make the dollar work for us while it's still somewhat strong. So, yeah, I just want to do this video and share my view and my thoughts on this whole rolling back of DEI, rolling back of desegregation to segregation, separate from separating, the minorities basically from the European people. That's just what it is, especially in America. So, but anyway, yeah. Yeah, so I just wanted to do this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't do me a favor and like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video.